Alright, so really quickly before I say hello, I need to explain what's happening here. There are actually 2 missile expansions in this room and 2 sets of crumble blocks. And what you need to do is you need to make sure you hit right in the middle of the 2 sets of crumble blocks so that you hit both and fall down both and can get both missile expansions at the same time. If you don't do that, you actually have to leave this room and go through the entire gauntlet again. And now with that out of the way, I can say hello YouTube, and welcome back to my Super Metroid Let's Play. This is episode 4, and we are just starting off right where episode 3 left off, and that right there was the explanation that I kind of teased at the end of episode 3 as to why I left it in a weird place, and it's basically because getting those 2 missile expansions is a huge pain in the ass. But now that's over, we are actually more or less finished with Crateria for the moment. So we have I think we have 2 or 3 more items to get, and then we're gonna be off to the wrecked ship. But for now I'm just gonna take a quick save, mostly just to refill my health, because the wrecked ship is... it's kind of a scary place. Not scary as in ooh, eek, spooky, too spooky for me. It's scary more in the sense that it's really dangerous, actually. The boss is actually pretty difficult, and the wrecked ship can go really wrong really, really fast. If just one thing goes wrong, you're boned. So, yeah. I laid that powerbomb there, kind of, I guess, hoping to kill these enemies, and then failed because derp. So, yeah, I just had to lay another one. It was annoying. Here I forgot that I would need to lay another powerbomb to open that door, so I accidentally canceled off of my power bombs. But, all that aside, we are actually now back down in Red Brinstar. We are up at the very, very top of the Red Tower, and there is some stuff up here, and this is actually not what I'm about to get specifically, but this is the area where the game intends you to get your very first power bombs. These are actually the second power bombs that the game intends for you to get. But, yeah. So, we get these things, and that side hopper somehow lived the power bomb, and, God, this room. Good lord, this room. You get to treat yourself to, I don't know, a good solid 45 seconds, minute or so of me just, getting trolled non-stop by the spikes and yapping maws. It's bad. It's so bad. But, so we've got that power bomb, and now we're just falling down a little ways, and actually through that power bomb door up there is Red Tower, is a room that links to Red Tower. Yeah, so we're gonna go through this door here. And once again, I'm gonna get trolled. I'm gonna get eaten by this manflower here. That's what those, nasty pink flowery things are called. They're called manflowers. I actually get eaten again, because fuck you, that's why. But yeah, so that's actually right there, the very first power bomb you're supposed to get. And the game immediately, it doesn't tell you this, but you can immediately use one and see just how crazy powerful they are when it just blows open that wall. It's really cool how they do that when you get a new weapon like that. It often will give you something to demonstrate how powerful it is. Like with super missiles, I didn't really point it out, but the first super missile pack you're supposed to get is the one right after Spore Spawn. And there are a couple of little googly eye guys, I don't know what they're called, hiding in the ceiling right above the very first super missile door. And when you fire your super missile, it shakes the room so hard that it actually knocks those guys loose and they fall to the ground, just to kind of demonstrate the power of the super missile. It's really cool. And then in that room there, where you can lay a power bomb and just blow away an entire wall, it's a really neat demonstration from the developers of, you know, what this new item can do. So we are now officially done with item collection in Brinstar and Crateria for the moment, and we're actually going to head now to the wrecked ship. finally. I've been kind of building it up a little bit the last episode or so. Been talking about it a lot, and now you're finally going to get to see it, and you're going to get to see exactly what goes on in there. It's some crazy stuff. So, we're going to blow open this powerbomb door, and there's actually a really, really, really cool strategy you can do in here if you're good at this game. If you can do a short charge for a Shine Spark in the previous room and preserve it into here and then fire, I think, a missile or a super missile at that door and then do a Shine Spark across that room, grab the missile, and then Shine Spark all the way across this room, all the way to the end and right to the door of the wrecked ship. It's called Ocean Fly. And it's really, really fucking cool. I've never even attempted it because I know I would fail at it, but it's really cool to see. So yeah, this room is pretty basic. I fuck it up anyway because I'm terrible at this game, but it's just some little platforming and some grapple beam stuff. Nothing really too complicated or intense. Just yeah. It's a good demonstration of why the gravity suit is really cool, because if you fall off, it's a huge pain to get back up, because Samus moves so slow in water. But thankfully that won't be an issue for too much longer. And you can actually grapple onto rippers. If you didn't know that, it might have been a bit of a problem for you getting through this area if you didn't know about the fact that you can grapple onto rippers, but you can, so. And now we have officially entered the wrecked ship. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. As you can see, everything is dark and the power's not on, and it's kind of creepy, like, and deserted. So something's definitely not right. And you see there, I land on that spike, and actually, as long as the power's not on, none of the spikes in the area, as far as I know, will actually hurt you. It doesn't matter a whole lot because you can't get very far because there are only like 3 doors in the entire ship that work right now. All of the others are locked until you beat the boss. But that's fine because we're actually going to go in here. I'm going to get trolled by this eye door and waste like 7 super missiles, but then I'm going to hit and we're going to come in here and we are going to fight the boss of the wrecked ship. He is awful. His name is Phantoon, and I don't like him. He does a lot of damage, he can take a lot of damage, he's really random, it's just... I don't know. I don't know how much there is really to say about him. Basically, the theory is wait for him to show up and open his eye, and once he opens his eye, pump him full of missiles. Do not use super missiles. Use only regular missiles. If you use a super missile, it'll basically piss him off, and he'll go into some kind of super crazy, basically unavoidable uber attack with all of his flames, and you don't want that to happen. So just take my word for it and stick to regular missiles rather than super missiles. Unless you're a speedrunner of the game, in which case use X Factors. And I don't really... an X Factor... There are things you can do in this game called charge combos, where if you charge a shot with just one beam on, so all of your beams stack in this game. So you can have like the wave beam and the spacer beam and the ice beam all active at the same time. But if you turn them off and have just one beam active and then charge a shot and have power bombs selected, you'll do like a little charge combo. And the one for the wave beam is called the X Factor because it makes these 4 particles that kind of form an X around Samus. And that's the strategy that a lot of speedrunners of this game use to kill Phantoon as quickly as possible. But even in a speed run, or even really especially in a speed run, because in a speed run you have like 4 energy tanks right now and 100%. Phantoon is an ass. He's so terrible. Nobody likes this guy. Randomly showed up at the end of Other M, and I'm just like, what? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. But yeah, fuck Other M. I just like taking digs at Other M because it's a terrible game. Don't play Other M. It's bad. Just please trust me. It's not worth your time. But we are just about finished with Phantoon. It's a really, really long fight, as you can see. And I actually get pretty low on health. But just about done with him. You can tell because he's turning a really bright red color there. And just a couple more missiles should do it. And there we go. Phantoon is down. We have officially eliminated the Phantoon Menace. Yes, I went there. I said it. I made the joke every other Let's Play of this game has made. But you know what? I did it with so much balls and gumption that it's funny again. It's not actually funny, but I'm gonna pretend it is. So with that, with Phantoon dead, the power is back on in the wrecked ship, and that means we can go crazy! We have lots and lots of stuff to collect in here, so we're gonna do that. First thing we're gonna do is come up here, lay a bomb there, because there are a couple of little nooks and crannies, I guess, in this area that are accessed by bombing open little hidden passageways. And I can never remember exactly where they are, so I like to test like certain corners to see if they're there. And that's what I was doing with that bomb there. But then I realized, oh wait, I can just lay a power bomb and like test all of them at once. So, yeah, fun times. Unfortunately, now that the power is back on, those spikes will hurt you, as well as the random electrical faulty wiring things above my head, the sparky things. Yeah, those will hurt you now. So this room is pretty simple. Just get the worker robots to move their fat metallic asses out of the way and then bomb that open, and then you need to use the second one from the bottom. That is the only passage that goes through into this area with the super missile. So that's cool. We have that now, and then we just run along the conveyor belts here and through the door. There's really not a whole lot to say about the wrecked ship right now, as you can tell. So yep, just killing some stuff. About to go take a little save. I go into this door thinking it's the save room because I can't remember for sure, but then I see what room it actually is, and I'm like, nope, not doing that. And there's a good reason for that. That area is scary unless you have not the very suit, wow, unless you have the gravity suit. So, I'm just gonna take a little save here, just for myself. It's a little, quote, scene transition like we've been doing. Just a little place where I, stopped and then restarted recording, just to make it easier on me. So, here we are, starting off again in the wrecked ship. I'm immediately going to set my reserve tanks to manual and use them. And it's a really cool thing you can do, is at any point in time, you can dump your reserve tanks into your main store. And I did that there because I was down to 2 full tanks. I'm like, that's not a lot of energy. Because as you can see, Phantoon kind of handed me my ass a little bit. So I just decided I wanted a little bit of a buffer, so I just dumped my 2 reserve tanks into my main store. And now I have a pretty decent amount of energy. So this room up here is called the Attic. It's pretty simple. There are a whole bunch of enemies. There are like 4 key hunters or Kai hunters or whatever, and like 4 or 5 of those. I think in this game they're technically called atoms, like atom, like an atom of hydrogen, but in Metroid Prime they were called Bomboos, and that was what I played first. So whenever I see them, I call them Bomboos, so that's probably what I'm going to call them in this game. But basically you just have to kill everything in this room, and that'll unlock the doors. Make sure you shoot that door to open it, or when you come back in here you'll have to kill everything again. it's kind of annoying, but it can be easily prevented. So, coming into this room, got a bunch more worker robots, and a couple more conveyor belts. Again, it's really simple. Just shoot them a whole bunch to get them to fall into the pits. You can jump over, and then at the end, I believe you get a missile expansion. Yep, a missile expansion. It takes a while because of the conveyor belts, but oh well, 100%, gotta do it. So there we go, there's another missile expansion, and now we're going to be heading back the other way, the way we just came from, back into the attic, and then we're going to head through the other door, and we're actually going to end up outside the wrecked ship. We're going to do some fun stuff, I guess. Fun is the right word? Maybe. We're going to do some stuff out there. We've got a couple of items to collect outside. And one of them is a missile tank I'm not super fond of. It's really, really high up, and what the game intends you to do, and what I actually do, is ride some rippers all the way up there, and I don't know, I guess just because the map isn't super sophisticated, and you can't really see where exactly the rippers are until you actually, like, run into them. Basically, it can make it really difficult to actually make your way all the way up. So there, what you saw me do, there's a super missile block there in the middle, up where you saw me shoot down, and that leads down here into this little tunnel where you can get another missile expansion. So yeah, I just blew the super missile block again. And now begins the long and arduous process of trying to ride the rippers all the way up to the missile expansion. I will eventually get it. It doesn't take that long, but it takes longer than I would have liked. So just hop on that little bastard and ride it along for a little ways, and then and then we see another one up top, so I decide let's jump up to that one, and then the missile is actually up above me, right there, basically right where I was shooting, and what I was trying to do was shoot it and then try and jump from the ripper I was on, but as you can see, that didn't really work. So I just froze that one and then jumped back up, and luckily for me, another ripper just happened to be coming right when I needed it to be. So I was able to just jump on, float my way over, and I almost panicked there because I thought I wasn't going to get it. But I did actually get it, so all is well. Yeah. I didn't actually get it until I started falling off the ripper, and I was like almost panicking, like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get it, oh shit, and then I ended up getting it, so. And we just killed that little guy for funsies, and we're still a little low on, like, energy and missiles, like a little lower than I like to be, so I'm just gonna kill the things in here, try and get some of their drops. Fall into the water there like a dumbass, so I actually missed that super missile, which kind of sucks, but oh well, not that big a deal. So we run through here, and this room is, if you want to take a bathroom break and just quit watching for a few minutes, this is the time to do it. This room, there's nothing here. So I'm calling a bathroom break right now. Because once we're across this grapple, we're gonna morph in the hand of this Chozo statue, and then he's basically gonna go bowling with Samus down the entire length of the room, and he walks really slow, so not really sure what to talk about here. Hockey's happening right now, apparently. I guess hockey's the thing that's going on right now, the hockey playoffs. I don't really follow sports, so I don't know, but I think that's a relevant current event. Also the presidential election, that's a thing that's happening. Anyway, so bowling is now over, so I'm going to come in here and get the gravity suit that I have also been hyping for several episodes. And that gives Samus that pretty sick-looking purple paint job, and it, like, doubles your defense, or halves the amount of damage you take. But most importantly, I think, is it removes the effect of water, or any liquid, on your movement, so you can run through water or acid or lava or what have you as if you were just running on the ground. And that's going to be incredibly important in Meridia, because basically all of Meridia is flooded. It's underwater. So it'd be kind of hard to navigate through there without the gravity suit. So, and the thing there is just powerbomb to blow up the statue, and then you want to get the worker robots into the little holes so they form a continuous walkway, and then you just speed boost over them, store your shine spark, and then spark up that little passage there. And be careful of that gap. If you fall down, it's not a huge deal. You can just spark back up, but it's kind of a pain, so do your best not to fall down. So yeah, we are almost done in the wrecked ship. We have 1 or 2 more things to get, so we're actually gonna make our way back in, but luckily since we have the gravity suit now, we can just cheekily wall jump up and in. No big deal. I always like running along that because you go like super duper fast because of the conveyor belt. So, we're not going to go into the room I noped out of earlier because now that we have the gravity suit, it doesn't really matter. So we just want to kill that little thing. I don't know what they're called in this game. Prime 1 calls them puffers, Prime 2 calls them preeds. I don't know exactly what Prime 3 calls them. I think, I don't know. I think maybe it calls them puffers again? I don't know. I'll probably call them puffers, but basically the only way to kill them at the moment is with a charged shot, so no big. Just charged shot. Those spike platforms in the room before are really, really nasty. They do 50 damage if you have the gravity suit, and they do a full tank of damage if you only have the Various suit. So between that and the water, you can see why I didn't really want to come in here without the gravity suit. So, this room is actually kind of difficult, the platforming, and I've actually never managed to do it the intended way, and that's the intended way I just did. Before now, I had never managed to do that, so I thought it was pretty hype when I managed to pull it off just randomly while I was recording. I was like, hey, sweet, this is pretty cool. But I grabbed that energy tank, so now I'm at full health, and at this point in the game, and for quite some time it's been such, but at this point in the game especially, health is really not something I'm ever going to have to worry about again. There's still, I think, 5 more energy tanks in the game to get, but at this point I have the gravity suit, and that means my defense is insanely high, so basically nothing does much damage to me. And I just have so much health that even the things that do hit hard don't actually hit that hard. So, yeah, health isn't an issue at all for the rest of the game. And I mean, if you know what the hell you're doing, it's not that big of an issue anyway. So, that check of the map there was for my own benefit to make sure that I had collected everything. Now, those of you familiar with the game might be listening to what I just said and be like, wait a minute, but you didn't collect everything. And you would be absolutely correct. You may have noticed there was a door down there a little farther down on the left. That I never went through, and I should have gone through it. There is actually a super missile tank in that room, but I forgot about it and didn't collect it. And it wasn't until I was most of the way through Meridia that I finally realized I had fucked up and forgotten that super missile. And by that point, I was like, no, I am not re-recording the entire game for one super missile pack. So I ended up having to take a very long route out of Meridia. I ended up having to take the back way out, just so I could get that super missile that I missed. But that's a couple episodes from now. Not just yet. And there you see me wall jumping my way over the pillar that had the missile expansion on it earlier. Coming through here, killing some key hunters. You know, pretty basic stuff. Running through here, and somehow, randomly, all that length isn't enough to get blue suit, and I just kind of face plant against that wall there. I don't know what happened. That should have been plenty of room to get a blue suit going, but somehow it wasn't. So I just try again, and this time I get it, thankfully. So, this episode is actually just about over, so, as always, I would like to thank you very much for watching, and say that I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again in the next part. Thank you very much. Also, Other M sucks. Don't play Other M. It's so terrible. Don't play Other M, I'm serious. It sucks.